Hello students and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to start another new history chapter, and this title of this chapter is Social Change, Tribal and then Nomad Societies. So previously we have talked about the urban centers and how these urban centers came into form, and this particular urban centers had got varieties of associations, and then which are the states or the kingdoms in fact at the time became very powerful, and which are the other combined forces in fact ruined the this particular kingdom when it was in power or in the big position. Okay, so we have discussed the chapter 6 on that. So today I will be talking about the tribal societies. Now you might have heard or you might have seen that in Assam, especially in our northeast region, there are many tribal societies living, namely like Santhas, Mundas, or tribals like Ahoms or Missing, and such tribals were actually living still there are, and then still we can find that there are very like a peaceful atmosphere in them. So some people may be giving the wrong information about the others, that these tribes are very danger. They are like a carnivorous. They are very much ferocious. They can they are headhunters. So such kind of like a wrong information is passed to the society. And today, for example, we think that these tribes are very dangerous people. But it is not like that, but it is their nature, it is the way they are growing in their situation, in their nature. So that actually depends upon. So now before we start this this video, here we have the very systematic things happening. Okay, so we can find here. Now here tribal societies, when we talk about, you have the another second part is about the some dominant tribes, and we have the Gond tribes, the Home tribes, and how these nomads and tribal people lived in this Benares. That is also a matter a lot, and then changing society with the time period. So how we can talk about this one. So let us now learn that many important political and social and also economic development that has been taken place in India during the medieval period, and we can find that the Hindu society actually also different way the behavior, conduct and discipline, every bit of things have been actually some changes has been taken place in this society, especially in India, and we can find it in Indian society. There was actually gradually have taken shape the Varna system, and in this Varna system we come to know that there were four divisions that has been divided, and then first the Varna, first is like a Brahmanas, second is like a Kshatriyas, third is a Vaishyas, and a fourth one is a Sudras. So these four Varnas actually have been divided, and then from these four Varnas, again sub Varnas were also divided, and we can find that many of these societies where we can find the Varna systems, actually we don't see the equality between the men and women, and we don't see the dominant of the women in the society, but we can find that here the man is the dominant group, and then they are actually trying to control the country. So here since we have the Varna system in India, and it is very strongly followed, so we are now talking about the tribals. It means we can find that in India there are rich people, also the poor people. We can see that there are Varna system and there are also no Varna system. There we can find the caste rigidity, and there we can find the no caste rigidity. So that's why the society became more and more complicated because of this two different varieties of society were found in a country. And that's why today, in addition to the Varna system, there also you can see that existed some other parallel societies, which is actually known as the tribes. And here they don't have the what called like Varna system, caste system, or they don't follow up the inequalities, but they follow up the equalities. So that is we can find. So in India, these indigenous groups were groups of people actually are often referred as like Adivasis. Now when we talk about the Adivasis were actually the original tribes, original people of India. However, you can oppose, however you can use the other like evidence to prove yourself that you are the original, but it is nowhere actually. Thing is that these Adivasis who are living in this country are very original, and the moment these Aryans perhaps have been already attacked in India, betrayed these people, and then how they have taken the shape, how they have actually dominated, and they created this Varna system in India. And so today, from the ancient period onwards, we can see that many of our people are suffering due to this caste system or the division that has been created. So therefore, we have to be very critically have to study about this matter. Now let us talk about the tribal society. Now we should know that whenever we visit to the tribal societies, you will find that these people are very simple, very welcoming heart, and also very open hearted. They never avoid, they never hide, they never gossip things and all, but then rather they openly everything they are sharing, and then they are talking. So that is the thing we can find in them. And we can find that these people are very ferocious. Why? Because we sometimes insult them, sometimes we are actually criticizing them and giggling them, so they may get angry on us. So that is the thing we have to keep in mind. It may say whenever you do any kind of like insulting the others, giggling the others, certainly the other opponent party will be getting angry on you. That is natural. Even you also will get angry if someone will be doing such kind of activity on you. So that's why here we can find that a kingship bonds actually we find in the tribal societies. So what type of kinship? It is not the king, but then it is a kinship. So kinship bonds united members of each tribe here, okay? And the tribal people actually live in the clans led by the tribal chief. So wherever you visit, either you visit to Meghalaya, either you visit to Arunachal, you will find that there are tribal people living, but there is a chief is there, like a king. We can consider as a king. Like I have seen in Arunachal Pradesh, once I have visited, then I found that there was one king, and he has got maybe around 7 to 8 wives. He has got, and quite many children. So he was not educated as like us. So when we ask, he say how many son and daughter he has got. So he doesn't know about it, and he rather started asking his wives how many children they have got. And the dress code of the king is looks very comedian. In fact, dress code was very funny looking. Means you have seen that one small cloth wearing on the body, and on top there is no cloth. On top there is some kind of like a bones garland, head of the crown that they used to wear, that is made up of like a bones and animals bones especially. So such kind of things we can see, and seems like it is a very funny image, and yet he is a king of that area. So that is the thing we can find. So however, these are the very important things that we need to study about it. So therefore we can find one chief will be there always in the crowd, and then he is the person who is he will allow or he will not allow, he will give permission or not. So everything will depend on him. So each tribe had its laws and rules and traditions, and each member of this tribe was actually allotted a specific task that is as per their caliber and interest. Now you can find that the principal occupations were actually, you can see in this tribal society is hunting, food gathering, fishing, okay, and then shifting, cultivation. These are the few things they were doing, or rather they do. Now most of the tribes actually were pastoral nomads. We can find also there were many of the nomads were actually pastoral format. They are living their life, especially they used to gather their animals, and then they travel to the far distance land, and then they spend their time, and they exchange the product which is the product which they are getting from the animals, and also from the meat and all these things and all. They are actually exchanging for their eatable things and all. So we can find. So in earlier days, a group of people were carrying a huge chunk of like animals, like either it is cows, or maybe the horses, or maybe donkeys, or maybe the pigs, or maybe the goats. So many animals like that they used to bring in a big group, and then passing from one place to another place, and they used to sell on the way, and they used to sell the so many things like that. Okay, so that is the, we can find pastoral nomads even. And then we can see okay, let's see the what is the actually the here tribals group. Now a tribal groups actually owned land and cattle collectively, and shared things on mutual understanding. So they were not like so much stingy. They are not miss so much means what you won't see that they are stingy. Whatever they find in the in their locality, everyone is enjoying that. If suppose they kill one suppose a goat, or one any big animal, suppose they kill, then every member of the family is coming, and then having the share. They are getting the share, and then that is the way actually they are actually surviving. So that is the good sign that we can find in them, that they never become a kind of like a stingy, greedy for the food which they have actually collected. So they share, they like to share with everyone else. That's why we find that there is not a single like a inequality in them. So there is a equality always. So that is the good sign. Then again we can find that tribes are known to have the intelligence and experience to make the best use of the available natural resources, and to conserve the resources for future use even. So we can find that tribes who are living in the forest, maybe they are destroying the forestry, or they are destroying the nature, but it is not a correct one. It is not the correct one. They actually use what actually they require for. They never destroy, as like we can find that there are a big number of trees are cut, and then have sold, and some costly trees were actually cut, and then made the furniture and sold away. Timbers were sold. So such kind of activity these tribes were never done in their future. Rather you will find them, those trees are actually they are worshipping as like a nature worship, since we know that they are the nature worshipper, they are not the idol worshipper and all. So we don't see. So that's why these tribes were not considered like a Hindu. In fact, sometimes we have the religious issues in our country, and we consider that all these tribals, OBCs, everybody is a Hindu we consider, but it is not like that, because they are the nature worshipper. You will find in their home, in their locality, some type of like a water, flower, fruits. These are the things are actually they always season by season they worship. So they don't have the idols and a statue and images and all like that. Okay, so that is we have to understand. But today, for example, the government is trying to include some of the tribals as like a Hindu society. But however you try to force, and however you try to combine, but then they are not actually the Hindus. They are actually tribals, okay, who are the worshipper of the nature. Okay, let us say again know what are the things that again they do. So they practice this subsistence agriculture. Now you must remember subsistence agriculture. Subsistence means like for surviving only the family, not for the selling and to earn money like that. But they are only to maintain their family. They are actually cultivating. So that is the thing we can find. So next we have got which are the sources, in fact, through which we can understand about the tribals, what type of mentality, discipline, or the conduct they have got. Okay, so let's see here very less information in fact we find about them. Let's see very little information. So they have got like a what information we get. They prefer to live in a remote areas such as like a deep forest then hills and deserts. So these are the few areas we can see the people. Okay? All right. Then again, we have got second things that is, they did not allow outsiders to enter in their areas, and they wanted to retain their freedom, and they preserved their separate culture away from the world. Okay. And third one is most of the tribes did not keep written records, and they choose to pass their cultural and religious knowledge. Knowledge. Then again, you can find that they choose to pass their cultural and religious knowledge orally from one generation to another. It may say the documents are not found in them, so that you can read about them. Perhaps this is the one of the disadvantages actually the other people have taken on them, and that's why you can find that most of the time they are the sufferer, they are actually victimized very often from the ancient period onwards, because of the no documents they kept in them, and they are passing all the information from one generation to another generation orally. So that is the simple and open-hearted people we can find in India, and even other part of the world also the same perhaps. But then you see how the other people have taken the advantage, and they deprive them away from this property and other areas. So I think we need to very sensitive. We need to take care of these people, because they are the actually owner of that property, but they are deprived of because of the looking for the documents and all these things. Okay. So these three sources that we can find to know about the tribal history. Now the little information that we have got about tribes today, especially from the accounts of the anthropologists who study the life and the society of tribes, by getting first-hand information about them. Okay, so it may say archaeologists or anthropologists actually they search the past bodies, the past events and all. They dig out, they extract, and then they are making the this knowledge exposing to the world. And then people are coming to know them. So then we can have some dominant tribes we will be discussing in the next video. Some of the dominant tribes we find in a country like India. So here the tribal people who were actually almost like a very minority we are finding today, but in earlier days they were very big in a group, and they were having the control in them, and they were actually powerful at that time. Now see how this which are the people where actually we find in the dominantly found in different part of the states. Let's see the Khokar and the Gakhars, they were found in Punjab. Then again the second tribes like Langhas and then Arguns were found in the Multan and Sindh, and you can find the Baluchis in the northwest India. Then the Shepherd tribes of Godis found in the western Himalaya. Then Nagas and the Ahoms were found in the northeastern region, especially northeastern India. And then the Cheros were found in the present day areas of Bihar and Jharkhand. Then Mundas and Santhas were found in the Orissa and Bengal. And the Kolis and the Berards were found in Maharashtra highlands, that is Karnataka, and then Gujarat. And the Karagas and Betars and then Maravars, these are the tribes were found in the South India. So it means in our India, maximum areas were actually covered with the tribal people, and they are actually dominating the areas very nicely. So student, as we are going to study about the Gonds, and about this economy of these Gonds, then religious beliefs of the Gond, the dress code and the culture of these tribals, and also we will be discussing about the administrative system of this Gond tribe. It means this Gond tribe was not a small tribe; it's a huge tribe, big tribe, and a big number in fact found in India. But the government calculations are giving the wrong, and then you can see that these people were shown as a minority. But when we talk about the Gondwana land, it's a huge landform, but it is somehow already nowadays so many historians are coming and omitting and deleting, and every bit of things are actually destroying, and then finally you can find it a little bit information we can find about these tribals. So however, as we read more and more about the books and go details about it, we will come to know more about them. So in the next video I will talk about the Gonds tribe, Aho tribe and all. Okay.